So we're going to hear from a variety of schools from around the state. And the first up is Paul Epps from Central High School in Springfield. We heard from a school earlier that was near Springfield. A biology, environmental science, and international baccalaureate instructor at Central High School in Springfield. For the past 16 years, Paul fosters a deep love of science through dynamic teaching, service learning, and hands-on projects. He was recognized in 2025 as Conservation Educator of the Year by the Conservation Federation of Missouri. So, Paul, thank you for being here. We're excited to hear about Central High School's Quest project this year. And now I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay. Well, we finished it yesterday. Um, oh wait, am I muted? No.
No, we hear you.
Okay, good. Um, I put together just a tiny little thing to kind of show you pictures from yesterday. So let me see if I can share. Will it let me?
You should be able to.
All right,
Yep,
tell me if that works.
looks good.
Okay, so basically this year we decided to go a different direction, and we decided to introduce we decided to do an educational outreach deal with our high school. So we went to a feeder school of Central, our idea being that if we could get them on the right path when we got them, 5 years from now, that we can do a quest that hopefully will be, kind of, I don't know, something that's built over time. So what we did is we went to the school and we started by introducing them to rain gardens, and then the kids painted rocks, and then we made a puppet show that basically talked about clean water and the importance of clean water, as along with sort of some themes of friendship. The kids took the rocks outside, we built a rain garden, and then we gave them a coloring book to kind of reiterate the whole thing. And so here's the like what it looked about. So here's Tristan teaching the kids. And there was actually several more rows behind him. And then here's the kids painting the rocks. And then this is Tristan and the whole gang doing the puppet show. So the kids are kind of out in front of that blue screen there. Here's the puppet show. And we had Feisty Frog and Bouncy Bunny and Gutter Goblin. And most our puppets were made out of stuffed animals we got at thrift shops that we turned into puppets. So we kind of got to reuse there, which was nice. Let's see. Okay, here's kind of them watching it. And one portion we have to ask the kids for help. And Brooke Widmar, who's standing there, who is with James River Basin Partnership, was just amazing to facilitate the conversation between the puppet show and the kids. Once that was done, their rocks were dry, so we took them outside to start building our little rain garden, and we intentionally kind of kept it small and manageable. And then here's our finished rain garden. Some of the kids wanted to keep their rocks; they didn't want to share, but most of them put them here, and we're going to add some native plantings around it, and then we'll have our deal.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right.
So
I'm
that
sorry.
was our program.
Okay. Do you have anything else you wanted to share? I think I might have interrupted you there.
Oh no, you're okay. I think it went really well. Better than we really thought it was going to go. We weren't sure, but the kids really seemed to like it, and they really seemed to ask great questions, and it was a blast. And our students had a ton of fun.
Oh, that's great. Well, I love the idea of using the old stuffed animals and turning them into puppets. I've been to puppet workshops and that has never been suggested.
It
I
worked so well.
Yeah, I compliment you or the kids for that great
It
innovative.
was Brooke. It was Brooke that came up with it.
Okay, all right, that's
Yeah.
wonderful.
So who
Well,
came up with the idea that you wanted to teach first graders about water, which is the theme of the quest? I should have told people that was our theme this year.
Oh,
But
yeah.
who came up with that idea? I love it.
I don't know. It was one of our students. I can't remember which one. We were brainstorming about what to do this year. And so we were throwing out different ideas and that one popped up and everybody jumped on it.
Wow, that's wonderful. All right, so we're lucky to have you and your students at Central High School bringing the green school momentum to Southwest Missouri. So, so thank you very much. Thank you for
You're
being.
welcome.
We're also lucky to have the support of the Mid-Missouri Solid Waste Management District for bringing the same kind of energy to mid-Missouri. So the district is funding our time to support 4 rural schools that are not too far away from Columbia. And tonight we get to hear from 3 of them. So I hope they're all on. I'm pretty sure I saw Latham Elementary coming in. So first up is Latham Elementary, a tiny school in Montauk County. Please welcome Tracy Beery and Laura Latham to tell you a little bit about what they are doing in their very
Yeah.
rural K-8 school.
All right.
Right.
Well, good evening, everybody. How are you? My name is Tracy. And I'm Laura. And we are grateful for this opportunity to share our story. So, a little bit, I know you guys said a little bit about us, but we are located in Central Missouri. We're a rural K-8 school. Our total enrollment is 33 students. Our community consists of family farms and Mennonite families. And starting last year, we started a school farm, which includes a barn with animals in it, a lot of mini animals, a greenhouse, raised beds, and we have an outdoor garden as well. The purpose of starting this farm was there were several areas of public education we felt we wanted to improve upon. Plus, we wanted to be able to tie it into our community farming roots. So thus the school farm vision came to life. And I got a video here on the next screen that is from Governor Kehoe. We were blessed with Governor Kehoe and his wife, the First Lady Claudia, to come visit our school. And his first words here in this video are pretty powerful, summing up the power of agriculture and education. And throughout the video, you'll see 4 main points that are flashed upon the screen. They will show you the 4 areas of education we were hoping to improve upon with our farm, as well as you'll get a glimpse of our school farm. So enjoy the video, hopefully. Here we go.
Agriculture teaches you more about life than any other industry because
we're not going to read through all the rest of these, but I hope you saw those 4 areas were the main ones we wanted to focus on. Science learning standards, if you want to keep on going through. Laura, I'll let you talk about. And after we implemented and built these, our buildings and our structure, our farm, the kids have really been driving the program. They are the decision makers. They even designed and came up with our own brand, a Latham Farmstead brand that we now have merch for and we're selling, and going back, the proceeds go back to the farm. They have an opportunity to really be invested in their learning, and they're loving it. If you go one more screen, please.
Yep.
Laura, I'll let you talk about the food and stuff.
Well, our kids are the decision makers for everything. Like in the fall, we start planning out our garden and what we plant in the greenhouse. They decide from what seeds we plant. So they're from beginning to end.
Mm-hmm.
They decide what seeds they plant. They plant the seeds in our greenhouse. They transplant them, and each grade has their own raised bed. And they are the decision makers for everything. They decide what gets planted. They, lay out their beds and they measure out their spots, and, they absolutely love it.
And at the end, we get to enjoy the benefits of it because we incorporate their vegetables that they grow into our school meals. So this year, our Green Quest project was our water
drip system for our greenhouse.
And so another part of the farm is what you're seeing now, character education. The kids, if they're not the smartest in math or reading, their character traits will take them further in life than anything. So instilling a work ethic, responsibility, respect, that's another big piece of our school farm.
Yep.
And then our future goals. Laura, you want to share a couple of future goals real quick, and then we'll wrap it up?
One big thing, like last year, the kids weren't, throughout the summer weren't in school. So we had an abundance of vegetables. So we, sat down this fall and decided, what could we do with all this? and we decided to build a community vegetable stand.
Yeah.
So we're in the works of doing a, take what you need, leave what you can food stand for all of our extra vegetables and fruits this summer.
Yeah.
That's so wonderful.
Yep. Sorry about the technology.
No. We're learning. I mean, that's
Yeah,
like I
yep.
kind of figured like these are the kinks we need to work out next year, but that
Yeah.
was awesome.
When that slideshow, if anybody wants to link to it and learn more about us, it shares a lot of, and at the end is our Green Schools Quest project about the drip system and everything. So we just feel it's such a powerful way for kids to learn, that we're grateful for the opportunity to share our story to hopefully inspire other schools to do
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah,
Get the
I'll
kids
put
out from
that.
behind walls.
I'll put that in the chat. I'll put the presentations in the chat that
awesome.
Brooks gave us.
Awesome.
Because it'll show we have a reading hammock area too,
Yeah,
which
it's
is a
really cool.
social emotional piece where kids can read outside. Yeah. So
Awesome.
thank you guys so much.
Thank
Thanks for all your
you.
help too.
Yeah, it's been lovely.
And by the way, wonderful decor behind you. So
Thank you.
well, so what a wonderful story, and we're really it's just amazing what you're doing with your students, and they're so lucky to have you as their educators. And you've really managed to make that small size an advantage for your school. So thanks again for sharing your story. And now we're going to turn it over to Beth Dampf, who is the principal and superintendent at High Point R3 School District, not too far down the road from Latham. So welcome, Beth. Are you ready? Because Leslie is going to start sharing your video, or do you have something you need to say?
I can talk after the video, but I do want to say Latham inspired us to do this. We're just 10 miles down the road, and they've served as a great inspiration to us.
Thanks, Beth. That's great to hear. Thank you.
That's awesome.
So we can like have something to like be responsible for and be able to take care of.
Yes, projects like this are important because they get kids involved and they teach kids stuff they might need or want to know for their futures.
Well, Blue Jay Blooms, like I said, we were greatly inspired by Latham's commitment to their education of their students, and we kind of took that as a challenge to kind of do something similar, whereas we're not really involved as far as the animal. We are looking at the plant-based and the pollinators and trying to do some native gardens and things like that. We do have 64 students. We're here in Montague County, like I said, just down the road from Latham. We were under the guidelines of we purchased a greenhouse with the Green School Quest money. We were able to do that, and then our PTO came in and they purchased 6 raised beds, for each of our for 8 raised beds for each of our classes. So each group has their own raised bed. Local farmers have come in and supplied us with all types of great soil. We're working with the local Missouri Extension Office, and they come and do some lessons for us. And we're also working with Missouri Native Wildflowers, and they're doing a landscaping bed for us, so we can have native pollinators come in and do things like that.
You know what's cool, Beth? Sorry to interrupt you, but
Yes.
guess who's here? Irvin Wallace from Missouri Wildflower
Oh,
Nursery.
very good.
He's on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we're so thankful for that. I've got their catalog. We just need to make some decisions and take some underused places within our school landscaping and get those bees and butterflies happy with some pollinators. So we're looking forward to that. We also have been incorporating into our Focus Friday lessons and into our science classes. And then our 4th and 5th graders, they are our recycling gurus. They had to present to the board and had to do recycling, how much it would cost to buy bins for the classrooms, how much they could save. And so they have been busy recycling paper, cardboard, cans, and then giving the tops to the Ronald McDonald House. So we have just been busy doing a lot of things to make High Point a more ecologically sound environment for all of us here. We want in future to plant a community garden and have that available to families for sustainability purposes within the summer. And like I said, have our native gardens for all of our wildlife, birds, and everything else in this area. And eventually go food to table so we can use some of these foods from our early crops in the spring and for our fall cooler crops for our lunch table when we come back to school. So the kids are really interested. They even want to become little entrepreneurs and start their own little shop where people can drive up and buy their plants and seedlings and everything like that. So it's a work in progress, but what we've done in a year.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. It's really great to see the kids' excitement and your excitement.
Yes, it's a lot of
The
fun.
kids' excitement. Yeah.
I think that was one of the highlights of becoming principal and superintendent at my age is what can I do? And so following Latham's lead, this was something I thought would be great for our school.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for sharing. It was a delight to watch the video and to hear
Thank
from
you.
So we're going to hear from the third educator that is in that central Missouri area, Gwen Weathers, who is from Harrisburg High School and about a half an hour northwest of Columbia. Thank you for being here, Gwen. Take it away.
Okay. Hi, thank you all. It's all very inspiring. I have all sorts of ideas for next year. So Misty Ayers and I worked together on this. And this year, what we did last April, in April 2025, there was a tornado that struck Columbia, Missouri. And Columbia is the headquarters for all recycling operations in Boone County, and Harrisburg is part of Boone County. So with the destruction of the recycling center in Columbia, all of the collection bins throughout the county were taken away. And we used to have one right across from our middle school. And we had worked on building up a culture of recycling in our building. We're still working on building that, but we had done a lot of work and involved a lot of students in years past, and we didn't want to lose that. So we really worked on just maintaining our recycling culture this year. And what we did was I sent out an email and talked with Misty and with other teachers who had been involved in the collection last year and coordinating with students. And we forged ahead, and basically what ended up happening was Misty, as the sponsor for the National Honor Society, those students did kind of the first collection of it. And then we gradually spread that duty out throughout the building. And our teacher, Devin Geisler, who teaches civics and leadership, those students ended up taking the leadership on this project throughout the remainder of the year. And every time I would say, it'd be really nice if they could sort maybe a little bit more. Because at first, when we were doing the collections, the students would collect everything, bag it, and they put it in my vehicle, and then I drive it over to Booneville, where they have a recycling facility there, and it also benefits people with developmental disabilities. So it's a nice way to contribute to what they do over there as well. And so we have collected, it's paper, aluminum, plastic, and cardboard. And basically on these runs, we've completed 5 runs. We'll do another one before the end of the year. And working with the numbers that I have, what I can tell you is it looks like we've diverted about 480 pounds of paper from the landfill. That works out. So it's 5 pounds of paper for every ream. So that's like 96 reams of paper that we diverted from landfill. And again, just working off the numbers where we did collect, averaging those out, it looks like about 96 pounds of aluminum, 60 pounds of plastic, and 198 pounds of cardboard for the year. So it was like 6 truck beds full of recycling that I ran over. And looking at the numbers, it's exciting. I also teach Spanish and got my Spanish 4 student to make, my screen is blacked out, so I don't know if you can see this or not.
Oh, sorry.
She made how to recycle posters, and she did those both in Spanish and in English. So as we get back into hallway recycling, right now it's mainly through teacher collection bins in the classrooms. But as we get on with putting this more out in the common areas like we used to have it, we can do it bilingually. So we'll also expose the students to some language that way. And that is really what we have for the year. It's worked really well. The students have really risen to the occasion, and it's really great once they're involved, and we knew this from before, but when the students are involved with the collection and the bagging, and they have to get in there with their gloves on, they understand much more clearly what it means to do clean recycling, right? They're like, who put this food garbage in the recycling? And they get very animated about it and very passionate about having it be clean recycling. And so what I've been thrilled with is the quality that they're doing, because when I take the bin, I just have to open the bag and I put all of the, whatever it is, 10 pounds of plastic bottles go directly in the bin. I don't have to sort out this. So they've done all of that cleanup work that goes along with quality recycling.
That's awesome.
And that's a group of 15 students that have done that for us this year. And we're hoping to include them in some education for additional students to get them going for the next year. And hopefully Boone County, they are scheduled to start up recycling again, but it's still going to be at least, I think, another year before the facility. I saw the dates recently, but I can't remember off the top of my head when they're going to have their facility up and running. But in the meantime, we were excited to be able to maintain recycling culture. We're in a moment right now where sometimes just maintaining is good, right? But we've been very pleased with the results, and we've been able to maintain and have all the teachers and the students involved with that in the building. And that's what we've got. Thank you.
That's
and
awesome.
Gwen gives me way too much credit. She's really taken on a lot of this herself. So she's done most of it.
Well, it's great though that you have two champions for this kind of work at your school. You both are wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, and just the tenacity that you're showing and leading by example, modeling that this really is important, even though it's really hard and inconvenient, is amazing.